Hello everyone. Welcome to Tales of Light. Have you ever felt like time is running faster than you can live it? Like every day is slipping through your fingers, no matter how hard you try to hold on. This is the story of Fernando, a man who was always racing against the clock, until one quiet moment, in a small Japanese shop, he learned a time philosophy that didn't just slow his days down, it changed his life forever. Stay with this story until the end, because the same simple idea that saved Fernando from an empty, rushed life might be exactly what your heart has been waiting to hear. Fernando lived in a big city, far from home, far from the slow afternoons of his childhood. He was 32, working in a tech company, always busy, always on, always almost there. His mornings started in the dark. The alarm went off before sunrise. He grabbed his phone before he even opened both eyes. Emails, messages, notifications. From the moment his day began, his time already belonged to others on the train to work. He told himself he would relax. He would look out of the window. He would breathe. But instead, he scrolled. News, social media, work chats. Entire rides disappeared into a small glowing screen dot at the office. It was worse. He ate lunch at his desk, crumbs on the keyboard, eyes on the screen. He told his mom, "I'll call you this weekend. I'm just busy this week." He told his friends, "Let's meet next month, when things calm down." But things never calmed down. Every evening, he came home tired and wired at the same time. Netflix played in the background. His laptop stayed open, half working, half distracted, never fully present. He went to bed with the same thought. Where did my day go? Fernando used to love drawing as a kid. He would spend hours sketching trees, faces, little street scenes. Now, his sketchbook sat at the bottom of a drawer, covered in dust. He told himself, "One day I'll go back to it, when I have more time." But time never slowed down for him. It felt like an enemy, always just a little bit ahead. The more he chased it, the faster it ran. One Friday, his manager called him in. "Big project, tight deadline. You're the guy." It sounded like praise, but to Fernando, it was another chain on his calendar. That same night, his sister sent him a message. "Hey, can we talk? It's about Dad." He saw the notification. He thought, "I'll answer after this email." He kept typing. He kept working. By the time he looked up again, it was almost midnight. He told himself, "It's late. I'll call her tomorrow." Tomorrow would come, but not in the way he expected. The next morning, Fernando woke up to 3 missed calls from his sister. His chest tightened. He called her back with shaking hands. Her voice was soft and tired. "Fernando, Dad had a mild heart attack last night. He is stable now, but we were all here. We tried to reach you." Silence. In that silence, Fernando heard more than words. He heard all the times he said, "I'll call you later." He heard all the weekends he postponed visits. He heard his own excuses echoing back at him. He booked a flight home for Sunday, but the guilt didn't wait. It climbed into his suitcase. It sat with him at the airport. It whispered, "Where were you?" At the hospital, his father smiled weakly. "Don't worry, Mio. I'm okay now." They talked. They laughed a little, but Fernando could not stop staring at the wires, the beeping machines, the fragile way his father's chest rose and fell. Time, in that room, felt strange, both slow and painfully fast. On the way back, his connection was through Tokyo. His company had planned a short client visit there anyway, so they booked him a few extra days. He landed in Japan with a heavy heart, his mind back in the hospital room, his hands still tied to his work. Tokyo was loud and bright, yet calm in a way he could not understand. People moved with purpose, but not with panic. They seemed present. One afternoon, with a small pocket of free time between meetings, he wandered down a quiet side street. There, between a tea shop and a tiny bakery, he saw it, a narrow store with a wooden sign. Old clocks hung in the window. Some were stopped, some were ticking. The sign said nothing in English, only delicate Japanese characters, yet something about it pulled him inside. The air was warm and still. Shelves of old clocks, watches, and hourglasses lined the walls. The ticking was gentle, like many small hearts beating at once. Behind the counter stood an elderly Japanese man with kind eyes and a slight bow in his posture. He wore a simple cardigan and glasses that slid down his nose. He looked at Fernando for a long, soft second. "You look very busy," the man said in slow, careful English, with a faint smile. Fernando gave a short, tight laugh. "Yeah, that's my life, I guess." The old man nodded and motioned toward a small wooden chair. "Please, sit. No rush, no rush." The words felt almost unreal. Fernando sat. For a moment, he just listened. Tick, tick, tick. Hundreds of small sounds. But somehow, it felt peaceful. The old man poured him a cup of tea without asking. Steam curled up like a soft question. Then the man said a phrase Fernando had never heard before. In Japan, we have a saying, "Ichigo ichi." He spoke it slowly, like it mattered. Fernando repeated it under his breath. "Ichigo ichi." The man smiled. "Yes, it means one time, one meeting. This moment, right now, will never come again in the same way. So we honor it. We give it our full heart." Fernando felt something shift inside his chest. "One time, one meeting," the man went on. "Many people think time is something to chase. But time is guests, moments. Each moment visits only once. So we welcome it. We sit with it. We say thank you." Before it goes, Fernando thought of his father in that hospital bed. He thought of his sister's calls. He thought of his dusty sketchbook. How many one-time moments had he rushed past? He swallowed hard. "I've been everywhere but here." He whispered for the first time in a long time. He did something simple. He wrapped his hands round the warm cup. He closed his eyes. He breathed in the smell of the tea. He listened to the ticking dot for those few minutes. He allowed himself to be fully in one moment. And it felt different, strange, painful, and peaceful at the same time. That small shop, that short meeting, became the doorway to his struggle. Because once you see how you've been wasting your moments, it is impossible to look at your time in the same way again. Back home, Fernando could not forget those words. "Ichigo ichi," one time, one meeting at first. He tried to live the same way as before. He rushed, he multitasked, he answered emails at midnight. But something inside him protested now. When his father called, he felt the weight of the moment. When a co-worker stopped by to chat, he heard a small voice in his head. This will never happen in the same way again. One evening, the test came. Fernando was at his parents' house for a short visit. His father was recovering. They had just finished dinner. His mom brought out a box of old photos. "Do you remember this?" She laughed, holding up a picture of little Fernando covered in paint, holding up a crooked drawing. They all laughed. There was warmth in the room. For the first time in a long time, his parents were not just people he checked in on. They were there, in front of him, alive, sharing a moment that felt small but full. Then his phone buzzed. A message from his manager. "Hey, can you jump on a quick call? Need you for something urgent. Might affect your promotion." Fernando's heart sped up. His old self woke up. The part of him that always ran, always chased, always feared missing a chance. He stood up halfway. "Sorry, I might need to," he began, thumb reaching for his phone. Then he caught his father's eyes. They were softer now, with that kind of deep tiredness only sickness can bring. His father wasn't angry. He wasn't demanding. He was just there, waiting to see what his son would choose. In that tiny space between the buzz of the phone and his next move, time stretched. Fernando heard the ticking of an invisible clock. One time, one meeting. Would this exact moment ever come back? His father, alive, smiling, holding an old photograph. His mother, laughing as she wiped her glasses. The warm light of the home he grew up in. He imagined a future where his father was no longer there, where his mother sat in the same room, with the same photos, but with an empty chair. What would he give then to come back to this night? His hand shook. For once, he didn't rush. He breathed. He listened to his own heart. Then, slowly, he pressed the power button on his phone. The screen went dark. He put the phone face down on the table and looked up. "I'll call them back later," he said. "I want to be here right now." The room fell quiet. Then his mother smiled. His father's eyes grew wet. For the next hour, they told stories. They talked about his childhood. They talked about dreams, about fears, about nothing and everything. Fernando noticed the way his father's hands moved when he spoke. He noticed the sound of his mother's laugh. He noticed the smell of the food still in the air. He was not half present. He was fully there. In one moment, one meeting, and something strange happened. Time did not feel like an enemy anymore. It felt full, rich, deep. That night, in the quiet of his old bedroom, Fernando realized this. The Japanese time philosophy he had heard about was not some magic trick to get more hours. It was an invitation to go deeper into the hours he already had. That simple choice to turn off his phone and stay in the moment with his parents was his turning point. His climax, the moment he stopped living as if time was endless, and started living as if every moment might be the last time it appeared in his life. From that day on, Fernando began to practice this Japanese time philosophy in simple, quiet ways. Not perfectly, not always, but more and more, with intention. On the train, he put his phone in his pocket and just watched people. He noticed a child pressing her face to the window, amazed by tall buildings. He smiled at an old woman holding a small bag of groceries like it was treasure. He thought, this ride, this exact mix of people, will never happen again. At work, when a coworker came to his desk and said, "Do you have a minute?" he turned to face them fully. No typing while talking, no half-listening. Just one human meeting another human one time. One meeting with his father. He tried to make every visit count. Sometimes they just sat in silence, watching a game on TV. But even that silence was different when he treated it as a once-in-a-lifetime moment, and then something unexpected happened. His anxiety began to soften. His days felt less like a blur and more like a string of clear beads, small, simple moments, each one precious in its own way. He understood now. The power of Ichigo-ichi is not that it gives you more time. It reminds you that this moment is the only version of now you will ever have. You can't repeat it. You can't replay it. You can only live it fully, or let it slip away half-lived. The moral of Fernando's story is simple, but not easy. Treat ordinary moments as if they are rare. Give your full attention to the people in front of you when you are somewhere. Really be there. You don't need to go to Japan to practice this. You don't need a clock shop or a wise old man. All you need is this question, right here, right now. If this moment never comes back, how do I want to live it? So, what does Fernando's story have to do with you? Sitting here, watching this video right now, Maybe your life feels rushed too. Maybe days blur together. Work, phone, sleep, repeat. Maybe you also say, I'll call them later. I'll rest later. I'll live later. But later is not a place you can visit. Later is only built from many small now moments. Just like this one. The Japanese time philosophy of ichigo ichi whispers to your busy heart. This moment is a once-in-a-lifetime guest. Welcome it. That means when you eat, taste your food. When you talk to someone, really listen. When you laugh, let yourself laugh fully. When you rest, truly rest. One time, one meeting. The next time you feel your hand reaching for your phone, ask yourself, what if this is a once-only moment with the person in front of me? The next time you walk down your street, look up. Look at the sky. Look at the faces you pass. This exact mix of light, sound, people and feelings will never exist again in the same way. You cannot control how long you will live, but you can choose how deeply you live each passing minute. If Fernando's story touched something inside you, maybe it is because some part of you is also tired of racing time. Maybe you, too, are ready to live more deeply in the moments you still have. So here is a small challenge. After this video ends, take just 1 minute. Look around you, choose one simple thing: your breath, a cup of coffee, the face of someone you love, and give it your full attention. Let that 1 minute be your first ichigo ichi. If the story gave you hope, or made you think about your own life in a new way, help this light reach someone else. Like this video, leave a comment sharing one moment you want to start honoring more, and share this story with a friend who is always too busy. And if you want more heart-touching, soul-refreshing stories like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel Tales of Light and turn on the notifications, so you don't miss the next story that might change your life. Thank you for sharing this once-in-a-lifetime moment here. Today,